जय श्री जगन्नाथ। आज का क्लास को समस्त को स्वागत। So in this class we are supposed to have a discussion regarding the factors influencing communication and the models of communication. In the earlier class, that is in the previous class, we have discussed about the meaning, nature, characteristics, historical development of communication, importance of communication. So we have already have a clarity regarding communication. So in this class, we are moving one step ahead, that is factors influencing communication. That means we can say that in simple words, components of communication. What are the things that directly and indirectly influence the communication system? This is called factors influencing communication system. Basically, there are so many psychological factors as well, but basically the transactional factors, which are the most important factors of communication, is that encoder, sender must be there, decoder, the receiver must be there, the message must be there, the thought to be shared, then the medium, then the code, then the context, then the feedback. One by one, we'll discuss first. So the first thing is that sender. The person who initiates the communication is called sender. In literal language, we can say that is communicator. That means the person who is communicating. So who is the sender here in this class? I am the sender because I am communicating. I am the communicator. Then receiver. So whatever you are communicating, that must be received by somebody. That is decoder. Receiver. Receivers, you are all receivers because you are receiving my communication. So you are the receivers. Your work is to, whatever I am designing, whatever I am sharing, you will interpret it. You will decode it in your thought process. That means you will try to understand. That means communication is also meaningful understanding. It is something to create meaning. That means I am sharing and you must create the meaning. So by the way, so what I am sharing? The message. So what is the message in this class today? That is factors influencing communication and models of communication. So these are the three important cyclic processes. Communicator, that is sender, the message and the receiver. Cyclically it goes on. Then channel of communication. In which medium I am exposing myself. Whether it is verbal mode or non-verbal mode or mass media mode. Here, what is the channel that I am using here? YouTube channel. So by the YouTube channel, I am exposing myself. This is the channel. Channel means the medium by which the communication process is designed, is initiated. So this is the channel. Then code. Another important component of communication is code. What is code? Sometimes some signals, some symbols are required during the process of communication, especially when we are teaching language. It may be Hindi, Sanskrit or English. Some symbols must be there, some signals must be there. So that is the coding system, isn't it? Then the context. This is most important. The context, that is the context of communication. Whether it is a formal setup or it is a non-formal setup. So whatever context we are using here, this is a formal setup because this is a classroom situation. So this is the formal setup. That means when in the formal setup, the communicator is serious. He is in a planning mode. He is presenting his ideas, his thoughts, his emotions, his feelings in a structured manner because that is a formal mode. But I am communicating in non-formal context. Suppose I am communicating with my friends, relatives, my wives, my daughters, my sons. So that is a non-formal mode. So here, this is the context is formal setup. The last one is feedback. That is the important and integral part of communication, feedback. That means whatever I am sharing with you and in the way you are interpreting the information and you are providing me the feedback. That is acknowledgement. That means whatever ideas I have shared, that must be acknowledged by you. How can I know that you have acknowledged it? When you are responding, that means response. Feedback means response. When I am getting positive response from you, then I'll think that my communication is successful, purposeful. But if your response is not structured, is unstructured, that means I will understand that my communication is meaningless. So feedback is most important part of communication. Accordingly, so these are the factors or the components that influence the communication process. So again, I am repeating the points only. That is sender, then the receiver, message, channel, coding system, context, and feedback. These are the integral components of communication. In addition to these, there are so many psychological factors as well. The noise system, the sound system, the pollution system, and the mentality of the speaker, the mentality of the learners. All these are psychological factors. As they are invisible factors, we are not discussing here, but that also play a dominant role in influencing communication. Sometimes the speaker is a dynamic speaker, eloquent speaker, but psychologically is something unhappy incident happened just before presenting the message. So his mental balance has been disturbed. So whatever communication will happen, that will not be so meaningful. This is a psychological factor. So there are a series of psychological factors which are responsible for influencing the communication. But this is not the matter of discussion in our class today. So just for your sake of reference, I have said it. By the way, let's proceed to the next point, that is models of communication. Before understanding the models of communication, we must have a clear idea what is model. What is model? Model of communication means two words, who and how of the communication. Who of the communication and how of the communication. Who of the communication means who are the receivers, who are the sender, that is speaker, that is receiver is important and sender is important. That is the who of the communication. That is having importance. Suppose the speaker is a dynamic speaker, then the audience will be responsive. The speaker is an unusual speaker, then the audience will not be responsive. So speaker, receiver. So sometimes the speaker is responsive, the speaker is dynamic, but the audience are not so responsive. So here the model of communication means who of the communication and how the learning takes place, how the communication takes place. The how depends the process, the mediums, everything. So I think it must have been clear who and how of the communication is model of communication. Basically, there are three models of communication: linear model, interactive model, and transactional model. So let it be clear: linear model, interactive model, and transactional model. Linear model means it's one way. Only the speaker is there. He is not bothered about the audience. He is speaking and speaking, isn't it? Because there is no feedback system. The basic limitation of this model is that there is no feedback system. Only the speaker is communicating himself for the audience. He is delivering something, isn't it? It is one way. It is linear process. Interactive model means it is two way. It is two way. That means receiver is there, the sender is there, and also the feedback system is there. So this is an advancement. Interactive model is an advancement. And the last one is most advanced. That is transactional model. Transactional model means continuously, dynamically, the speaker continues with speaking and the learners receiving and sending, that is happening simultaneously. This is instantaneous. So it is instantly happening. That is the transactional model. I'll give some examples. Linear model. Already I have told you it is one way. The most popular model by Aristotle, that is mostly used on public platform speaking. Public speaking model, it is known as public speaking model. That is the messenger, the sender is there, and the message is there, the audience is there, and the impact. What is the impact of the message on the audience? that is the occasion and the impact. That is the linear model of Aristotle. The most limitation of this model is that no feedback system is there. It is one way. So communication is mostly successful if the feedback system is there. It's not a two-way model. Another example of linear model I am giving, Skinner and Weaver's mathematical model. Here all the things exist, but one more important factor is added here, that is noise. That means sender is there, receiver, that is the audience is there, and that is speech is there, that is message is there, but the noise system is added here. That is noise. It's not noise doesn't mean that it's a negative element. That means noise means what are the factors that disturb the communication, isn't it? Whenever we know the factors that disturbing the communication, we become more purposeful, isn't it? So that is the noise system is introduced in this model, that is in the mathematical model by Skinner and Weaver. And this is also a linear model. This is one way. So the limitation is that no feedback system is there. And another, then I'll give an example of interactive model. That is the interactive model given by Skinner. That is in this system, the audience is there, the receiver is active, isn't it? And also feedback system is there. That means the speaker is designing his learning experience and the learner is interpreting the learning experience, whatever message has been given, and he is giving the feedback. So this is an advancement model, that is interactive model. In this system, the one-way factor is excluded, the two-way factor comes, and also the feedback system is there. So it is an active model, that is Skinner's interactive model. And then the transactional model. Transactional model is also the most advanced model, and in this globalized digitalized world, we are mostly using the transactional model, because here all the previous factors are there, that is the receiver, sender, message, channel, occasion, impact, audience, noise. Besides that, feedback system is also there, existing, and the most important thing, it is dynamic and continuous process. It is happening cyclically in a series of conversations, in a series of talks. Interaction is continuously happening. It is instantaneous. It is simultaneous. It is continuity. So this is the most dynamic model, transactional model, and it is mostly the realistic model of communication, because the linear model has some limitations, that is feedback system is not existing. But in case of interactive model, though the feedback system is existing, but it is not continuous and instantaneous, it is not simultaneous. So what is the advantage of simultaneous interactions? By the way of simultaneous interactions, in every point, whatever the loopholes, what are the obstacles that we are facing, that will be sorted out. That is the advantage of continuous model, that is a simultaneous. So here the process is simultaneous, continuous, dynamic. That's why the transactional model is the realistic model of communication. Here, in this process, the process that we are adapting, this is the interactive model, mostly linear, and by the feedback system it becomes interactive. By the way, I hope you have a clarity regarding the different models of communication. So in this class, I have discussed the factors, the components influencing communication. In that context, I have told you the factors are sender, receiver, that is encoder, decoder, message, coding system, channel, context, and feedback. The basic factors influencing communication. In addition to that, I have also told you there are some psychological factors also responsible for communication. That is already examples I have given. And next, then I have discussed regarding the model of communication. Before discussing the model of communication, I have told you what is model of communication. That is who and how of the model of communication. Who means the receiver and the sender, and how means the process for communication. How the learning happens, how the communication happens through the process. So there are different models of communication. Mostly there are basically three models: linear model, interactive model, and transactional model. Linear is one way, interactive is two way, the feedback system is also there. but the transactional is the dynamic way of continuously and instantaneously, simultaneously the process of communication happens. This is the most realistic model of learning. By the way, I hope you must have been clear. Still then, if some doubts exist in your minds, you can share with me, you can give your constant feedback so that we'll have an improvement regarding the discussion, and I hope everything will be clear by you. That's all. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.